Welcome to season 2 of Two Girls Shooting the Shit with Em and Mo. This year, we're working on that energy. Join us as we talk midlife discoveries, spiritual awakenings, pursuing passions, reconnecting with the goddess within, and a whole bunch of other shit. Make sure to follow our socials and join us on Instagram Live Tuesday nights, YouTube Live Thursday nights. If you're looking for bonus content, episode archives, or just another way to connect with us, check us out on Patreon. Thanks for all the love and support. Now let's get to it. But I also feel like it's, coming off of some of the conversations we've had, people in their 50s, maybe coming out of a divorce. They may be and trying to rediscover themselves. They're invisible. They have no idea who they are outside of this marriage. Mm-hmm. Or their children have grown. They're empty nesters. Who am I if I'm not a mom? So I think that maybe that's part
that
of
identity,
the invisible. Yeah. Like I don't have an identity anymore. My identity has, and this is that codependency or that toxic femininity, right? Like my identity has left. My husband has left. My kids have left. Like who am I?
Develop the core self. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Mo.
Hey, girl.
How are you? For real.
I'm over it all.
What are you over? You can't be over it all. Give me 1, 2, 3 things you over. What are you over?
Existence.
Whew. Why are you over existence? Are you feeling some type of way today?
I'm feeling invisible.
Oh, Lord. I wish I could be invisible.
I know. I wish I could be actually invisible.
That's a superpower.
Yes.
You do not see me. You do not need me for shit. Bye-bye.
I just
go read my book in peace.
What's the point? I just feel futility, trying to find meaning in this thing we call life.
Okay. This rat race.
Right? This what's it called? Sisyphean.
I don't even know.
Rolling up rocks up the hill, just rolling up the rock.
Oh,
rolling back down, rolling up the rock, roll it back down.
No, thank you.
Like that's some bullish.
That's how I feel. I clean up the room, the kids mess up the room. Clean up the room, the kids mess up the room.
That Barney don't work. Clean up.
No.
Everybody,
everywhere. Clean. No.
Right? That used to work like the first time, and then they'd be like, nah.
When they were maybe like 2 and it was cute. Yeah, but now they're like, nah, I don't want to do that. All these Legos, see, and they dump them and then they walk away.
It like a scoring system.
I did. I've tried that. I've also put on music when the song stops. This room better be clean. And so they're like,
oh, that's fun.
You got to make it fun.
Make it funky. It was.
What's not fun?
What's not fun?
Getting older.
Who says who? Says who?
Says this study that I found that apparently it's not supposed to be fun as we get older because we become invisible, like you were saying. It's a real thing, the invisible woman syndrome. Can you believe it? There's something called the invisible woman syndrome.
That's why you got to look in the mirror and see yourself.
Oh, shoot.
I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, this is supposed to be a thing, but I also feel like maybe we need to challenge it and push back a little bit because it's not, because we have stuff like And Just Like That. And, where women who are aging, which is like, okay, 50, which is, that's not even
right next door. Like, that's right up the street.
But I guess there was a study that, women who hit about 50 or middle age become invisible in society, in social settings. And,
who did this study? I want to kind of look it up real quick.
Let's take a look.
Talking about Center for Male Control. I'm just kidding.
Ooh, I'm trying to see. Because I read this blog entry on what is this? The Pennsylvania Coalition Against Rape. So that's a different thing when she's talking about statistics for sexual assault and things like that. But I forgot where we first heard it. I saw it somewhere, and now I'm like drawn to blank because we looked it up when we were like doing a brainstorming session. I was like, the invisible woman syndrome.
Caroline Criado.
But we do talk about, like the idea of beauty. I think that's what it stemmed from, was we were thinking of like, the idea of beauty is somebody young, somebody fit, somebody fertile. These are all things that are attractive to men, which again is annoying because that's like the standard is like what men find attractive. Like,
do you think it's changing?
I think so, because now we're having, but here's the thing. So, and just like that, right? The Sex and the City girls are back, but now it's like been 20 years. So they're in their mid 50s. They're still fly. Okay. They're still fashionable.
So
they're still doing the damn
fit.
thing. Yes. But are they attractive to men?
Hell yeah.
Are they? Because I don't know. Like if, and I don't know if it's, they're not attractive to men or they never were attractive to men. So it's
yeah, they kind of were two-faced with what's her name? The star, Carrie Bradshaw. They didn't like her from the beginning. So
yeah.
Because she's not whatever they think is traditionally beautiful, but she's fine. She had her hair all down in one scene and just nice and tan. Like, yeah. It's like, she fine. Shoot.
Okay.
I'd
get in touch with her people. Look at stop. But there is something to aging.
Is it like just one step closer to death? You like bar an accident? Like what
this blog post on PCAR that I read was really kind of like your usefulness to society is gone.
What's our
usefulness? You hit a certain age. One of the things, what is it here? The number 49 is relevant. And it turns out that a lot of data, all the things they check up on your employment status, marital status, your health, sexual assault, all that kind of stuff, they stop looking at after you're 49. 49 for some reason is like this magical number. And it's because a lot of like our societal framework is based around reproductive age. Like that's our main purpose, our main usefulness.
This all makes
making
sense.
Babies.
I took a class. I did horribly in it. I only forgot meteorology class. And one of the things I learned is that before a certain day in the 20th century, I want to say, that they didn't count Black people in natural disasters. So if
don't get me started. I cannot. No
but
more.
I'm just saying, like, that's not a new concept. Like the erasure of whole groups of people. That's crazy. So there's no data like collected on that kind of stuff.
Or that's not the main focus of the data. Data. I say data. Data.
I say both.
Do I say data? I don't know what I say.
It can be either.
Tomato.
Right.
I don't know. And I think that maybe that's why there's so much emphasis placed on fertility, and so much of women's self-worth placed on whether or not they can get pregnant. Because there is a lot of shame in the TTC, the trying to conceive community.
Yes, a lot. And people come about, you trying it, you gonna try again? Like, that's so rude.
It's an emotional process. Like I have a very close friend who went through several rounds of IVF, and I had secondary infertility.
What's that?
I had a child. I had my firstborn, and then being over the age of 35, and I think it was 6 months or a year of actively trying to conceive and not conceiving. Then they diagnosed you as infertile or secondary infertility or whatever. And so we had to go through, the pills that people take. I was giving myself injections in my stomach, all that kind of stuff.
Damn, my friend did that.
Yeah, we did IUI, which is, what's the layman's term? It's artificial insemination.
Wow.
Where we had to they wash the sperm and they do all that stuff. I don't know. This episode's going somewhere completely different, I think, but there is a shame to it. And there is a lot of your self-worth. I think a lot of women go through a period of what's wrong with me? It's me. I'm broken, and so to see that society views it as such a thing, reinforces those feelings amongst women who have a hard time conceiving, which is fucked up.
It is. It's a safety thing. That's the way I see it, because it's like if society has dismissed you, we're pack animals. So you're just
your
left
utility.
to die.
Yeah, you need to be useful.
But then
So,
women outlive men in the United States, at least. So it's like, how that work?
I mean, I wonder about this. I wonder about all these studies. Like we're talking about the invisible woman syndrome, and we're talking about, you know, metrics stopping at age 49 and all these statistics. Like, what are we doing that for? Like, what do we get from that? Like, what are we doing with that information? Are we trying to change it, make it better? Or are we just like, we know it?
Trying to get people to buy stuff. Nobody cares if you're not buying anything. I don't know. AARP is a big lobby though.
Damn AARP.
I think I got a flyer. I'm like, dang,
I've been getting stuff, and I'm like,
what?
You don't have to be a certain age though. You can just sign up.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh yeah, because you can retire at any age.
But you can't get like benefits and stuff. Yeah. But I think you can get like newsletters and, clued into the events and all this kind of stuff. I don't know. But I think now, especially since we're coming into, our 40s, and we're seeing life differently. And when we talk about this awakening and this midlife awakening, it's not a crisis. Nobody's in crisis. It's a midlife awakening. And to see how amazing it can be and how freeing it can be to be out of that stage where you're constantly obsessing over your attractiveness to the opposite sex, or constantly obsessing over fertility, or, unless you're trying to have children. I don't know. Are you obsessing over fertility? Is that something that's on your radar?
No, life. When I was younger, I would think, oh no, I'm getting too old. And now I'm just like, you know what, whatever will be, I'm adopted. I can always adapt if I wanted to have kids. But then also there's a comfort in just being free. And that's something like I've seen.
Girl, it is free. You is free.
Exactly.
You is free.
I've met so many older women who are just like living their life, traveling the world, and just having a good, like, I feel like it's almost like propaganda to try to say, oh,
you must procreate.
Like this or something bad. You just got to keep the people going, I guess. I don't know.
There's plenty of people keeping the people going. Right, not everybody got to have people.
I watch this dating show and the guys always come on there talking about they got 5 and 6 kids. I'm like, that's a healthy amount of people having 5 or 6
so we don't need to have any.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't have them for me. Thanks.
But did you ever watch Idiocracy though? I've been talking about this since like the first episode.
I couldn't. I'll try again. I tried.
At least watch like the intro, the first part where they talk about how like these 2 PhD whoever people have worked their whole life. They don't even try to have kids till it's too late. Meanwhile, and this is a stereotype, and I'm just relaying it from the movie. This is not my personal opinion, but Billy Bob and Sally Joe out here in the trailer having like 12 kids, and the 12 kids have more 12 kids, and Billy Bob goes and sleeps with Sally Joe's sister and has 12 more. You know what I mean? Like,
I think I remember that vaguely.
So it's the disproportionate amount of recreate. Is that a Girl Scout cookie? Mm-hmm. Is that a trefoil or whatever? No, that's something else. Oh, what is that?
This is a toastier. It's one of my last.
Oh, I don't know that I've ever heard of that. Is
it vegan?
Girl
Scout cookie. Mm-hmm.
They have vegan cookies?
I'm eating a non-vegan
I was
cookie.
like, girl, sometimes a girl needs a cookie, okay? Sometimes a girl, I wouldn't even fault you for that. You need a cookie, you can eat. Wow, okay, Girl Scouts coming through with a vegan.
Only ABC company does it. So this is the other company. This is the Caramel Delight company, not the Samoa company.
Gotcha.
They inclusive.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, and you are enjoying that. Mm-hmm. Damn, I'm hungry. I want pickles and cookies now.
Look, I see. I ain't sitting here.
Are you sure you ain't pregnant? Pickles and cookies.
Worried about it, right?
Ooh, what are you eating? Lord.
Ain't that some shit? I said, ain't that some shit? Oh, ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? Goddamn. So for me, I can't really get behind the invisible women syndrome because I think that's just reinforcing codependency and toxicity in our culture. If you feel invisible, maybe that's a you thing, and you need to look in the mirror and realize who the F you are, okay? Because you exist. So how do you feel invisible when you exist? There's even a poem. A man said to the universe, "Sir, I exist." However, replied the universe, "the fact has not created in me a sense of obligation." That's A Man Said to the Universe by Stephen Crane.
Just the fact that you're not getting some kind of external validation. What, you want a cat call? Like, what are you looking for, women? What are you looking for out here? Now, I can understand when it comes to rights and if we feel like our rights are being taken away, but that's not what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that you're not getting some kind of validation that you got before and you feel invisible. So I just ask you to look in the mirror, see yourself for who you really are, and be that person. It is not the universe's job to see you. It is your job to see yourself.
The invisible woman syndrome, is it real? Fighting the invisible woman syndrome. I refuse to be irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? It's one of those things too, where we just kind of marginalize and like push aside older people. We're like, you're get out of here. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know, whatever. Like, you don't know anything, push them to the side, and that's got to be a crap feeling. Like, really, like, oh, you can't drive anymore. We're gonna take your keys away. Like, it's almost like removing your autonomy, removing your power, like your agency to do that to older people. We're gonna put you in a home now, or we're gonna.
Oh yeah, because they take the license away, or you're gonna.
Yeah. So I guess what we're talking about is the years prior to that moment. So it's almost like a building up of like, you're invisible, irrelevant, you
finna disappear from this earth at any moment. Let me stop. Because people get accidents, anything can happen at any time.
But I also feel like it's, coming off of some of the conversations we've had, people in their 50s, maybe coming out of a divorce. They may be and trying to rediscover themselves. They're invisible. They have no idea who they are outside of this marriage, or their children have grown. They're empty nesters. Who am I if I'm not a mom? So I think that maybe that's part of identity. The invisible. Yeah. Like, I don't have an identity anymore. My identity has, and this is that codependency or that toxic femininity, right? Like, my identity has left. My husband has left. My kids have left. Like, who am I?
Develop the core self. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is kind of what I'm trying to do here with this and having these conversations is to make sure I have an identity, because that scares me. That scares me a lot.
Mine be changing. So
that's
what scares you about it?
I had a conversation with my mother-in-law when my oldest was maybe like 2. And I said something about like, I want to make sure my daughter knows who I am.
Aww.
And she was like, what are you talking about? And I said, well, you know what? Like, I want to be more than just her mom. Like, if somebody says, hey, tell me about your mom, I want her to be like, my mom loves to do yoga. Aww. She does a podcast. She does, like, whatever.
Ooh, you should make an art thing like that. And like have a
something
picture
about
of you.
that.
Because
I think going back, looking at my mom and maybe my husband looking at his mom, we both had moms my mom worked and then she stayed at home when I got a little bit older, but just what were their hobbies? I have no idea. What did they like to do? I don't know. What did they do outside of the home? No idea. Like, I can tell you what she did for work, but just like, who was she as a person? Or
no, I think I knew my mom, but I'm also an analyst. So,
but the type of mom I have and the type of mom my husband had were my children are like, I'm doing everything surrounding that. Like there wasn't much time away from the kids. There were no hobbies. There were no friends. And so I think that scares me. That's very, and I think that's why you can kind of see certain mental health issues sneaking in and a lot of things. It's very isolating. And God, this episode is like, it is. It's
my mom had your friends.
Kids. Yeah.
Well, we did stuff. We did Tupperware parties, card games. That was not. Played dominoes and spades. Yeah.
Nope. See, you could say something about your mom. Like, oh, Monique, who was your mom? You could talk about it. But I that's my fear. I don't want my kids to grow up and be like, my mom was just my mom. Like, I don't work outside of the home. Because that's one defining thing was my mom's a teacher or my mom's, like, what can you say about your mom? And so there's this fear of invisibility in that respect where you're just your mom. I don't know.
That's a thing.
So that's what I told my mother-in-law. Yeah, that's what I told my mother-in-law is I want to be more than just her mom.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was offensive at the time.
I know she was like, well, I'm just a mom. What you trying to say?
Yeah, I don't know if it was offensive at the time. And that's not how I meant it, but that's a huge fear of mine is to lose.
I think because I worked 33 years before having kids, 32 years before getting married to create this person that I am, for it to be gone. That's a fear.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I don't even remember who I was at 32. I was definitely nuts.
But just discovering, and now it's a new time of discovering what I like now, discovering who I am now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, my stuff is COVID related. Like, my stuff is not life age related, because
what do you
I'm
mean
finally
stuff? Like struggles or
just my circumstances, because it's like I'm finally at an age where I can do for myself and enjoy my life and everything. But I'm just kind of like, with COVID circumstances, I'm not really incentivized, because where am I going to go?
And you're not able to, you're not able to do much.
But
anyways.
It's different. But I definitely feel more freedom. I feel more liberated. I mean, I still am who I am, but still from the past, I feel more freedom. I feel more liberated, and just knowing, like, I feel like I know myself. So even when my behavior is not the way I want it to be, I can identify that and kind of understand the root causes. And I think that's something that I didn't have before. And so this invisibility, I guess I've always been invisible though, because I was going to be the fat kid, so unless people were making fun of me, they weren't really paying attention anyway. So that's fine. And we talked about this last night. That's why I wanted to live in New York. Like, I like an idea, some kind of anonymity. But I think it's when they start taking away, like, forget being invisible, but if you're taking away my rights, if you're telling me I can't get a job, I can't do this or that, like, that's different. You're taking away something.
There's part
you're not
of
just
study.
Ignoring. Yeah.
There's a study that talks about that, or part of the invisible woman syndrome is with employment. Like, it's harder for women of a certain age to get a job. The older you are, the harder it is, I think, to get a job, unless you have just like a banging resume and you've been doing all kind of stuff or whatever. But your age definitely plays a factor. And that's a form of discrimination, I think, that doesn't get discussed often. And it's applies to women more than men. Men are often viewed as like, you're in your prime, you're in your 50s, you're running a company, you're doing some stuff, you're 50s, 60s, like, it's a successful period for you.
Yeah.
Or stereotypically successful, where, I mean, there's 50 and 60-year-old women who are running companies and doing the damn thing too. But I still think they're invisible. I still think outside of the workplace, they could be wherever, and they're still, nobody's really paying attention to these people.
But what do you mean when you say nobody's paying attention to them? Like, what's an example of paying attention?
It's the attractiveness factor. I think that, I mean, it sounds very shallow to say, but I think that men of a certain age seem more distinguished as they age, whereas women as they age there's no positive attributes that come along with it. It's usually just kind of like, well, she's getting older. She's still trying. She's still trying. Like they say stuff like that. Like, she's still trying to wear them heels. Yeah. Or she's still dyeing her hair. And in this this post or whatever that I read about invisible woman syndrome, this woman decided she was going to stop dyeing her hair. And this is kind of like, we've talked about this with the gray hair, whatever. And the first thing that people ask her is, what does your husband think about that? And it's, and I think that it may not be clear, but it seems kind of like it is an invisible thing. Like, it's still a reflection of what men are going to think of me. Like, why can't I make this choice? They say that.
What is the intent behind this question? What are you trying to gather? Oh yeah, I like to call people out on their bullshit. I ain't got time.
I wish I had that in me. I wish I could do that. I do, because I love that you do that, and I would love to see the look on people's faces. But
if people get mad or something, and it's like, I'm just trying to clarify. Like, I don't play these double speak games. It really hurts my brain. I mean, I'm not trying to be like.
But she also said, nobody asked me what I thought about my husband going bald. So why do we care?
Oh, that's a good clapback too.
Well, I don't know that she said that, but she says it in her piece, and it's true. Beyond the invisible woman. What's the what? Ooh,
what's this like need to go around and be called cute? Like,
I don't think it's a need. I don't think it's a need.
Like, what you would, I mean,
I think you could be aware of it.
Out on?
I think you can be aware of it. I think it can be damaging. And this highlights the codependency, right? like I can speak from personal experience. I remember 20 years ago, if I walked into some place, I knew I knew somebody was looking at me. You know what I mean? Like I was aware of,
well, come here, they'll look at you.
No, but you know what, you know what you're working with when you all done up and stuff, and you walk into a place, you're feeling yourself, and somebody, and people like, hey,
well, you wanted the attention,
right? But that doesn't have, as you get older, that attention is no longer, and maybe it's the aging, maybe it's putting on weight, maybe it's because I got a baby on my hip, whatever the reason is, that attention goes away.
Yeah, if you walked in with that same outfit and hair done like that,
probably wouldn't
get the same look.
You might get a different kind of look. Like, ooh, what's she doing?
The same look. I'm sure.
But I think that's when you are born into and raised into a society that values your youthful beauty and appearance and your fertility, that is how you are groomed, right? And
when you had that away, I never had that. Like I never had that. So I just grew up like a dork, like a nerd. And so like I was in my own world. Like I never had that external validation. I got bullied externally. So I guess that was something like not a deficit, because it's not anything that I desire. Like I
wonder what that's, I wonder, like taking what you just said. So then coming into your own and finding beauty in yourself and finding your style and you have a very unique style and all that stuff. Yeah. Has that done the opposite? Has that helped boost you up?
For myself, but I don't
effect.
like
That's
people.
Good.
But I don't like people talking to me. It's like
don't talk to me.
People will always be like, "I like your thanks." Like it just makes me. Awkward. I don't like compliments.
It's awkward.
So it's like I'm not out there seeking. Like it's better to leave me alone, because it makes me uncomfortable. Somebody was like, "I like your locks." I'm like, these faux locks. Like, is that? Then I'm like, is that an insult? I'm like, oh, they're trying to insult me in these streets.
You always trying to fight. You're on the defense, walking around like, come at me. Come on.
I'm in Philly. Got to stay ready.
Yeah, but what if someone was just trying to be, complimentary?
I don't know. My brain, I
don't trust compliments either.
Yeah.
Shut up.
You better trust mine.
Until them compliments stop. Then you're like, I'm invisible. Ain't nobody see me anymore. It's terrible.
Leave me alone, people.
I don't want to be seen though. So maybe that's part of it.
Same.
I'm only 42. About to be 42. Yeah, don't see me.
Because I think also for mine, it probably gets deeper, because it's just like a fear thing and like predatory kind of feeling. So it's like, leave me alone. Don't look at me. Like forget that. Yeah. But I feel like a whole new woman. I've never felt this way before. And, I'm not the happiest, but I'm still
elaborate on that. You're not what do you mean you're not the happiest?
I'm not happy. Like I just don't get the point of life. It doesn't make any sense.
And do you think that's COVID related too? Because you can't experience what you think life is supposed to be about?
I don't know what I think life is supposed to be about. And I don't know. I think it's a side effect of COVID, because some of the things, like, I don't know, like just doing things, even like going to therapy, like different routines that I had that I lost during COVID, it just makes my life different. Like I'm not doing as much. I'm not going out as much. I'm not traveling as much. I'm not meeting people and trying new things. And I'm not purpose driven. Like I don't have a purpose. I feel.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not a kind of person who could just live without a purpose. Like it just doesn't, you
need something to point you in a direction so you can work. I feel like if you knew, you were the type of person who would work hard to get to that.
Yeah.
But you need that thing. What are you working towards? Yeah.
And that's the thing. I've always worked towards some stupid stuff. I did school as much as I could. I tried different opportunities and careers. And it's like, that stuff is not satisfying at all. As a matter of fact, it's actually the opposite and like sucks the life out of me. And so it's like, you got to get a job, but yeah.
Well, they're starting to lift, mask mandates, and they're changing a lot of things. I don't know what that means or how that affects you.
Yeah.
But do you think that once things start to normalize a bit more, you'd be able to hop back into that old routine? And
I don't think I can hop back. I don't think I'll hop back, but yeah, I'll definitely be back. I'm going to be very socially awkward, because there is a social awkwardness that goes on that I've noticed, and just hope for the best. And then it's like you're dealing with people who are also going through that, and so they're understanding
it's gonna be interesting.
awkwardness and and then some people never stop, like the Miami Atlanta crew never stopped going out and stuff. So not my demo, I guess.
Yeah, I don't no thank you.
Oh God.
I don't know, but I think it's gonna be once things open up finally, it's gonna be lit. Like I feel like there were some stats. I was doing some research about divorces and marriages, for a episode we had or whatever, and they said 2022 marriages were insane. Like people were like, I'm tired of being quarantined, so we're gonna have they were doing the most with these weddings. And the prices are going up. Yeah. And just like destination weddings, that kind of stuff. Like, and people were like,
since
we're
1984.
Celebrating.
Yeah, the most weddings since 1984.
Yeah. So I think this pandemic may have changed people's minds, the way they view things, the way they view relationships. Hopefully coming out of it, dating will get better as people will realize I did not like being alone. And, maybe men will realize, and people will just treat life like that, treat it bigger, treat it bigger than it's been, because we missed out on it for 3-4 years.
I think in 2024, all these 2022 people are going to get divorced and all and people are going to be back on their bullshit as far as life.
So you know what that means? That means that you have about a year and a half to study for the bar and go get into some family
divorce,
law and go get you some money. Okay.
Yes,
or get certified as a mediator and offer a more affordable alternative to divorce lawyers. Boom. Do that.
Ooh. Thanks,
that's all
Mom.
I'm saying about that. Yeah. You're welcome, sweetie. Have a good day.
I do have a lawyer's mind. I should just do it.
You should.
They got Monday off.
Yep. So I got to be creative, Mom. I got to figure out what I'm gonna do with all these children in tow.
Have a colonial day.
Oh Lord Jesus. Well, I have anxiety. Like I can't just be taking all of them out to the places. Like I don't know how to manage that. I was a superstar. I don't know how, though. I used to be a superstar. I have one strapped to my front, one on the back, and another one. Now nobody wants to sit in a cart. Everybody's running in opposite directions, and I'm sitting here like,
that's a nightmare.
I can't even chase y'all.
I don't like not seeing you. Like, and you run into another aisle, and I'm chasing you. No. And that split second, I'm like, anything could happen.
Anything could happen. Okay, listen up. So my boys go to a sports camp, and my newly 5-year-old had to go to the bathroom after it was time to leave. And I was taking him into the women's restroom. I had my 4-year-old with me too. So the 3 of us were going into and he was pissed the whole rest of the day because, Mommy, I'm a boy. I can't go in the girls' bathroom. I need to go into the men. And I was like, you're not going in there where I can't see you, especially in a place where you have to pull your pants down. That's not happening. But he didn't understand it. And he was just mad. I'm not a girl. I'm a boy.
This identity stuff, it starts. I mean, he is making
I was like, do you have to pee or not? Like, that's all I care about. Because you ain't peeing in my car. But anyways,
they need more family
things
bathrooms.
I deal with. Yeah. Everywhere. Make a family bathroom or
just make everything
just everything's the all gender bathroom.
They're starting that. I've been seeing that a lot and it works out.
I'm surprised that this community center in the community I live in is not an all gender
project. Like new project.
What is that?
That's inclusion. Make that a new project. Gender neutral.
Girl, I'm writing it down because I'm about to communicate to somebody. They need to change the signage over there.
Yeah.
I don't have to deal with my son and whoever
are they
else
stalls or are they individual?
No, they're bathrooms with 2 stalls and a handicap. So you can't make that all gender.
Because what they've done with the ones with the stalls is they're the ones that go like at
all the way up and down.
All the way up and down. And so
I would love that.
Yeah, each one is an individual stall. So it's like you can have anybody in there and then like the sink and stuff is in the middle. And everybody can use the sink.
I like that.
Yeah. And it's fair because I mean, back when I was younger, I didn't care. I mean, if people are going to call me sir, I'm going to get the benefit of it. I walk right in there. You know how I got to go to the bathroom.
Or like concerts and stuff. I remember going to concerts in my 20s. The women's line is so long, the men's isn't. I've gone into the men's room and nobody has said anything.
They don't say anything.
Right. But if the reverse happened,
yeah,
dang, I don't think we would care either. But I don't think the women would really care. Just go to them. I mean, everybody's drunk. You got to pee, go pee. Like,
yeah, that's why we need more gender neutral. And I'm glad these concert halls have also and stadiums have just gotten more bathrooms. So it's much better.
Yeah.
Now,
especially if you be serving drink, you got to do that.
Because when you're serving drinks, I'm in the bathroom. I'm like, I got to time it too because I ain't trying to miss my song.
Right. Once you break that seal, that was always the thing. Don't break the seal. Because once you pee that first time, you got to pee the whole rest of the night.
Right. And it sucks because it's like you want to have a good time and have a couple drinks, but then you don't want to go to the bathroom. I'm like, we need to make some concert diapers. Hi. Star-studded concert diapers.
Nobody's looking at us anyways. We're invisible. So you can just go ahead and wear you know how the commercials are though, like the Depends commercials and stuff, like they're really trying to make it cute. They got these women like, ooh, and the men looking all like, I'm a man in their little diapers. It's kind of funny. Those. Yeah, no, but they're trying to be like, ooh, the silhouette. Ooh, it's so, and you can't.
I don't know why they're trying to make them cute. Like, these are not cute. These are.
I just needed to suck up whatever fluids is going on. So that's,
right. They need to. Why isn't there should be an invention where you, like, put sand. I don't know what, like, put litter, silicone. I don't know.
How are you gonna have kitty litter in your pants? Stop it.
With something, there got to be some kind of technology where you could put like a gallon of water and it wouldn't do anything. That would be.
What are you trying to do? Sure, that's innovation, but what is happening?
But it's dry, like, and it'll like so.
But how heavy is it? You walk around like waddling. You waddling like around because you got a brick between your legs. Stop.
It's absorbed immediately. Boom.
And then evaporates into the air.
This material that doesn't exist yet. I'm gonna figure it out.
And then it can be reused because the liquid just
Just throw your water in it. Any scientists out there? Am I onto something? Let me know. They might not even know. It might be something we need to explore.
Baby. Get that stem or steam or whatever it is.
Yeah, but I don't know what they're calling it these days.
My daughter has a science fair coming up. I'm gonna have her and her friend. Hey, can you guys come up with the material? Your Auntie Monique and I need to have a
what
diaper.
Material soaks up the most water, absorbs the water the quickest, fastest.
That could be a science experiment.
Looks like everybody's already Googling this stuff. Not flat paper towel. Okay, here we go. Cotton. Wait. Excuse me. This is like cleaning up. No. I need more scientific.
Oh my gosh. Like a sponge. What was in those ShamWow? A chamois, like a ShamWow. You know that material?
Oh yeah, those kind of things are
you
weird.
Dry a car. And then you just wring it out and it keeps drying. Yeah. We make some panties out of those.
Which material? Oh, science project. Which is the most absorbent liquid? Oh, this is something kids do. It is a science project. Yeah. That's hilarious.
I've been on Pinterest looking up science things.
That's funny.
Ooh. Invisible.
Paper. They keep saying paper. Yeah, I'm tripping. They ain't thinking silica.
Ooh, Lord, my kids are screaming.
Dang, girl, what's going on? Who watching them?
Their tablets.
Oh God.
I made a whole tray of snacks and gave them their tablets.
Aw.
And then my husband's popping in on them every so often. But they're cool. You hear this?
What is that? Was that your dog?
They're singing.
Aw. See, when they sing, it does not sound like singing. When they scream, it sounds like singing.
I don't know what they're doing.
Any final words on
nah.
Invisibility?
Just, you know what? I think we're changing the way it's going. Women are especially middle-aged women are starting to take up more space and reclaim their space and start podcasts and companies and beauty lines and all that kind of stuff. So I while it is a syndrome, I'm not too worried about it. Everybody needs to do their own work on themselves.
Don't let a study dictate your life. You dictate your own life. Like, I'm looking.
That's right.
Right? The stuff I curate in my life, I'm seeing women over 40 and 50 and even 60 thriving out here living. Mm-hmm. So they are not invisible.
Or maybe they want to be. Shit, maybe we want to be invisible, right? Maybe we're ninjas.
Yeah, we want to be literally invisible. But we're talking about like
society,
excommunicating people from society and like taking away.
Excommunicate. It's the church.
Banishing people, taking away resources. We're not talking about that. Like,
yeah, just another part of midlife.
C'est la vie, gotta live.
I'm about to go eat.
Enjoy. Bye.
All right, bye. Talk to you later.
See ya.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Two Girls Shooting the Shit with Em and Mo. Please enjoy this mindful moment. The best thing I ever did was believe in me.